Hey, good Friday morning, folks. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Welcome to the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. We're going to look in depth at the Memorial Day weekend weather. We'll take it day by day, area by area, and the Memorial Day rainfall still on track, still looks very consistent, but starting to get some fine details on the southern half of lower Michigan. Should dry out. And so we'll look at that. The northern half of lower Michigan looks pretty lousy on Memorial Day, but not all weekend. So let's get on into it and show you what's going on. And we do have two chances of severe weather. One this evening in the far southwest corner, and a little more concerned about a Sunday evening severe thunderstorm in the southwest corner as well. So quite the bow echo going on in eastern Iowa into Illinois now. Strong winds and tornado warnings there. That is the first line that we'll track. That line of storms is expected to weaken as it crosses Lake Michigan in a few hours. I'll show that to you on our radar forecast, and then another line develops. So we're just on the edge of the possibility of severe weather today, but we are in that time period where sometimes the storms throw us a curve and do a little bit more than what they're supposed to. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And so we start with a good update from the Storm Prediction Center. This is today's severe weather outlook. They just updated, and look at, they put that enhanced area over in Illinois where we saw the bow echo. They have a 5% chance of a tornado up into Chicago, and notice they kind of indicate that as these storms hit Lake Michigan, they will weaken because they kind of carve away the tornado chance. They do still have the chance of a 58 mile an hour or greater wind out of these storms in the southwest corner. I'd be mostly concerned in the yellow shaded area, say maybe Holland or so to Kalamazoo. How's Frankenmuth looking for Sunday and Monday? Frankenmuth gets the rain probably before sunset Sunday, but most of Sunday looks good. And then Memorial Day is going to dry out there. So we'll give you that detail here in just a moment. So this is day one of the severe weather outlook. Day two would be tomorrow. Then day three. And that's the period where I'm actually watching. We're on the very northern edge of a larger severe weather chance for Sunday evening, but again, that can shift northward, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. All right, so let's take a look at our high-resolution rapid refresh radar forecast. It's been doing pretty good on these storms. It's not perfect because sometimes the storms change the environment and the models don't know that the storms are going to do that. It's nice that we get these hour by hour, or we get it updated every hour. In fact, I'm going to grab the latest right here for you. Okay, so we go to 10, 11, noon, 1 o'clock, 2, 3. That looks slow to me. 4, 5, 6. So I would say 4 or 5 o'clock, southwest corner, Holland, southwest Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor, St. Joe, South Haven. You could get in on a thunderstorm. This should be weakening. And then you see the next batch coming into all of lower Michigan. So the rain that we've been talking about for Friday night, still there. This is you can see it right there. It's a 100-mile wide strip of showers and thunderstorms coming through overnight. Let me grab, how do I want to do this for you? Let me grab this as it goes out a little bit farther into the future. Okay, so here's that dying batch of thunderstorms, and it doesn't really do much with the second batch. Then we go through overnight. This is middle of the night tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then we go to noon tomorrow. So in the morning, 10, 11, you could still have a thunderstorm in the thumb, otherwise should be dry. And as we go through the rest of the day tomorrow, dry. And then we go into Sunday. This is Sunday, 1 o'clock, and you can start to see the Memorial Day or the Sunday night Memorial Day rain shaping up. Gary Clark, what does a bow echo look like? It pretty much says it in the name. It looks like an archery bow, kind of like a D shape almost, and that's a sign that the upper level winds are coming down and pushing the middle of that storm faster, and usually is a severe weather indicator when we get that classic bow look. Now, here's the European model. We like this one, and this is going to give us the details for the weekend. So I have been talking about a pretty solid rain Sunday night into Memorial Day, but the storm center is going to move into northern Michigan and the eastern part of the UP on Memorial Day, and what I would call the dry wedge will come around the south side of that storm and dry out the southern half. It won't be a phenomenal Memorial Day, but it does not look, it looks like we could almost be all dry in places on Memorial Day, and the farther north you go, it could be I don't know if I want to say all wet, but mostly wet, I would say, on Memorial Day. So here's the European, and we'll use this as the best model and for that kind of time frame. Okay. Hey, good morning, Tanya Repke from Alpena. Love the Alpena area. Very pretty and quiet, not the hustle and bustle of the northwest side of the state. So this is tonight's showers and thunderstorms into tomorrow morning in the thumb, moving out. Most of us have a really nice Saturday on the way. This is Saturday night, really nice. This is Sunday. This is Sunday at noon. Okay. Note the strong storm system, 992 millibar low pressure center. When we get those at this time of the year, we think about severe weather, depending on the instability. Now, that's the other thing, is that this line of thunderstorms with the curl of that storm would come in the quote-unquote heating of the late afternoon and early evening. This would be 5 o'clock on Sunday. And then by 9 o'clock, the rain has overspread most of the state. So I'm going to say we'll look at it a little closer. I'm going to say it's Sunday afternoon in the southwest corner, and then progressing to the northeast through the evening on Sunday. Now, what about Memorial Day? So this is Memorial Day, 8 a.m. And you see the low pressure center up around, around Sheboygan or somewhere around there, pretty strong. You also see that dry wedge coming in from Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, over towards Saginaw and Flint and Bay City. That's a very common thing. These storms can't have a huge precipitation shield like they do in the winter. But look at Memorial Day afternoon. Northwesterly flow, northwest and northern lower Michigan, the UP, off and on showers, breezy. Southern half of the state, breezy, but staying dry. And then finally pushing off by late on Memorial Day for the northern parts of the state. I like this. This is a 6-hour increment of precipitation, so it kind of gives us a feel for when we get these batches of showers and thunderstorms. So this is up through Friday tonight, 8 p.m., and it says dry. And then this is middle of the night. This is 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. tonight. And you see the thunderstorms scattered about lower Michigan. This is 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday. And those thunderstorms still in the thumb, maybe Ann Arbor, maybe Detroit, but remember, those are probably early in the morning. Hey, good morning, Jupiter, Florida, and Megan Rose. Whitmore Lake checking in. Annie Gariepi? Not sure about that name, how to say that. Okay, so now we go to Sunday. Sunday morning into early afternoon, dry. Early afternoon to evening, and that's why I say we'll look at, turning wet in the southwest half of lower Michigan the second half of Sunday afternoon. Sunday night, now here's an important one. Memorial Day, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Some places dry. Saginaw, Flint, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Jackson, Lansing, maybe Grand Rapids, but showery in the north. And then let's go to 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Memorial Day. And let's call it from Clare southward, it's dry. Northward, it's quite wet. When you look at 0.4 of an inch of liquid in a 6-hour time period, it's not heavy rain, but it's quite showery. And then it moves off. So southern half of the state, rain Sunday night, maybe not Memorial Day. Northern half of lower, it looks like rain Sunday night, and Memorial Day could be quite on the showery side. All right, today we make it to 80 to 82 in a lot of places, 70s elsewhere. Tomorrow, low 80s in the southeast, then 70s. And remember, the lake water, Lake Michigan, only in the 50s. So you get a northwesterly wind, and you better have a jacket with you if you're going to comb the beach towns of Lake Michigan, or Lake Huron, or especially Lake Superior too. Sunday, 70s, maybe some spots get to near 80 degrees. Memorial Day, I would call it 65 to 70. I would call it 70 in the southern half of lower Michigan. And in the northern half, this might be a little bit overdone on the coolness, but 60s probably Memorial Day. And then Tuesday back to 70. And early next week looks a little bit cool for this time of the year when we should be getting well into the 70s. May 31st there. Next weekend, June 1st, back to the mid to upper 70s. What else do I got lined up here for you? Okay, these are what I call weather extras. You don't get these kind of things on television or anywhere else, right? Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. This is going to be the upper airflow, 15,000 feet up, out 16 days, and you're going to see a ridge start to build. You're going to see the summer pattern start to take hold. So any one of these U-shaped bends is a storm system. That's the one for tonight, mostly going up into Canada. This is the one for Sunday into Memorial Day. So you can see that it's got a lot of upper level oomph to it. And then we get into next week. Late in the week, and I showed you somewhat warmer, and you can see how the atmosphere is starting to expand. Now we're at June 2nd, and we're at Monday, June 3rd, Tuesday, June 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And it appears as though for the first part of summer, we'll call it first few weeks of June, that the ridge is going to be centered to our west. This would be a warm pattern for us. Northwesterly flow would guide in some occasional clumps of thunderstorms. Could be a smoky pattern for us because you look at the streamlines you take from southern Michigan, you go back to northwest, and that's air coming from southern Canada where they have the wildfires going already. Now, let's have some fun. Okay? This is a 45-day forecast from that same European model. This is the surface temperature anomaly. So I told you that in the next a week or so, we could be a little bit cooler than normal. Now we go to June 7th, June 8th, June 10th. We start to flip to slightly warmer than normal. I'd call it normal. Now we're at June 20th. Hey, we get to go out into July for this one already. Now we go to June 26th. Now we go to June 29th. Look what's happening is in the U.S., the temperatures are building, not just as you would expect them to at this time of the year, turning hotter. That's a given, but they're turning hotter than normal, or warmer than normal. And we ended out at July 7th, and it shows that we're going to get some heat building into the country. And we could be somewhat hotter than normal. So in July, when you have normal highs in, say, the 83, 84 range, we may have some 90s, my friend. I think a real summer is on the way. I definitely do. So that should about do it for you. I mean, I think I gave you a lot there, right? We looked all the way out into July. I'm done. I'm going to take off. I'll see you later. Check back in with you in July. No, I wouldn't do that to you. So good day today. We will have to watch those lines of thunderstorms in Illinois heading toward the southwest corner. You're in the level 2 risk of 5 levels of severe weather. It'd be late this evening. We'll watch it for you. And then we've got a lot of weather to get through on the weekend, but I detailed it for you. Hopefully you can get some good time outside having some fun. And Memorial Day, if you're in the north, you probably better get the cards out and stuff like that. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great, safe weekend. I will keep you updated both Saturday morning and Sunday morning on MLive.com, so check that out. Bye.